The Israelites did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, so God sent their enemy, the Midianites, to rule over them. The Midianites were very mean, so the Israelites cried out to God, "Save us!" The angel of the Lord came and sat under an oak tree. He appeared to a man named Gideon and said, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior."
Gideon was afraid. His family was the weakest family in his tribe, and he was the youngest son in the family. But the Lord chose Gideon to deliver the Israelites from the power of their enemy. He assured Gideon, "I will be with you." That night, God told Gideon to tear down the altar to a false god. Gideon obeyed God, but Gideon did it at night because he was afraid of the men in the city. The next day, the men in the city saw that the altar was torn down. "Who did this?" they asked. When they found out it was Gideon, they wanted to kill him.
Sometime later, Israel's enemies gathered together, so Gideon blew the ram's horn. An army of men gathered behind Gideon, ready to fight. Gideon wanted a sign from God. "If you will deliver Israel by my hand, as you say, I will put fleece on the ground. If the fleece is wet with dew, but the ground is dry, I will believe you." That is exactly what happened. The fleece was so wet, Gideon squeezed out enough water to fill a bowl. Again, Gideon asked for a sign. This time, the fleece was dry and the ground was wet. God told Gideon that his army was too big. Gideon let anyone who was afraid to go to battle go home. 10,000 men remained. "That's still too many," God said. God made a test for the people. All of them were to go to the river to drink the water. Anyone who knelt to drink water was sent home, but whoever lapped the water with his tongue stayed there. 300 men remained.
The next day, the army carried torches, blew their trumpets, and shattered pitchers before running toward the camp of Midianites. God gave Israel the victory, and everyone in the Midianite army ran. Gideon and his army chased them away. The Israelites said to Gideon, "Rule over us, for you delivered us from the Midianites." Gideon said, "No, God will rule over you." But after Gideon died, the Israelites did not remember the Lord who had delivered them from the power of their enemies.
The Israelites cried out to God because they knew they could not save themselves. Even Gideon was not enough to save them. God used Gideon to save his people, but God fought the battle for them. The people needed someone who was mighty to save. Jesus Christ came to save us from sin because we could not save ourselves. Only God, through Christ, can save us.